Hi Cancer, and welcome to your energy reading for April 2017. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. Prior to turning the camera on, I shook and chose a Feng Shui fortune telling stick. Just shake these till one drops out. Each stick has a number on and a little snippet of information. It can be a fortune or a warning of something. The stick that we pulled was the number 5. The snippet of information is you will achieve what you desire. So maybe there's something this April that you're desiring to do or desiring to want. The card gives an indication that you should get what you desire. The number 5. The 5th day of the month may be important to you. The number 5 in tarot refers back to the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a priest or a religious person. It could be an accountant, a lawyer, a judge, or something to do with religious matters. It could be someone that you go to for good counsel, advice, or a teacher, or teaching yourself. A seeker after knowledge and wisdom. A preference for the orthodox and then a need to conform, to be sociably acceptable. A strict adherence to religion. It can talk of marriages. It can talk of formal commitments, contracts. We can talk of any big legal justice system, schooling system, and anything in that sort of environment. The 5th house on the zodiac chart is ruled by Leo. So there may be a Leo in the mist somewhere. The 5th house talks of our children and how we relate to them, romance, financial affairs, games of chance, gambling, love affairs, enjoyment, fun, stocks and investments. So there could be something along that nature that we're looking at for you this month. The reading I'm going to do today, I'm going to use my Mythic Tarot. These tarot cards I've had since the mid-80s. I've used them religiously for 30 years. Love them to bits. The reading I'm going to do for you today, I call Messages to Ourselves. It contains 12 cards. 3 cards for spirit, 3 cards for body, 3 cards for heart and 3 cards for soul. And we'll get on and I'll start doing your reading. Cancer, April 2017. What are the 3 messages that our spirit, higher self, spirit guides, divine, whatever you relate to, regarding our spiritual realm? What are the 3 messages that Spirit wants us to be aware of, focus on, or accept our accomplishment. Excuse me. So 3 cards supporting Spirit. The second row for body refers to our physical. 3 cards to tell us what we physically need to do, what physical state we will be in, or what is physically happening around us within the month of April 2017. The next 3 cards are cards from the heart. What messages? We have 3 messages from our heart. What does our heart want us to know? And the final three messages from our soul. What does our soul want us to be aware of in the time frame of April 2017? The overall energy we have for the month is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords talks about an intellectual decision. All the swords that he's carrying in the boat are things that do matter. They are thoughts, beliefs, situations that do matter. He's popped them on his boat to set off and set sail to clearer, smoother waters, more emotionally stable situations, leaving a lot of emotional upheaval behind him. He's done this intuitively. He's wearing the purple cloak, which says he's in line with his intuition, and he's moving himself into a better energy field for the month of April. So a very good start as the overall. We are forging on to get to a better place within this month. Messages from Spirit. The first message we get from Spirit is the King of Cups. So Cancer, this could very easily be yourself represented here. I often think of the King of Cups as Cancer because we have this little crab sat on the bottom of his throne. This talks about being fair, being a good communicator, being open with emotions, but not letting emotions overflow and take control of us. Being very stable, even though he's sat on water, his throne is on water, he's not faltering, he's not dropping one drop out of this cup he's got on his hand. So a very good card to say you are well balanced in your emotional energies, with a good outlook for April. It can also signify another water sign around you that may be of relevance, which would be a Pisces, Scorpio, or another Cancerian. The next card we have is the Empress. And the Empress talks about the ultimate feminine energy. So we could be talking the ultimate feminine energy. If you are a male, it's about not forgetting the intuition, the living from the heart center, and our connection to the divine. This card talks very much about Mother Nature. This woman has done it all, and even though she's depicted as a woman, it doesn't necessarily mean we are talking to women only, as with the King of Cups. Even though we've showed up as the King of Cups, you could still be a mature female, but you do have control over emotions. We don't get too emotional over things. The Empress talks of growth, expansion. It can be the news of a birth. It can be the news of a pregnancy. It can be the news of a birth of a new project, birth of a new career, something new, something that's growing, something that can grow, something that's very maternal, something that's nurturing. We have the waters flowing behind her. There's some emotional activity here, though again it's not overwhelming her. Her feet have planted firmly on the ground. She's got herself well grounded. She knows her worth. She knows she's capable of good communication. She knows she's capable of handling her emotions well. She knows she's capable of dealing with the financial and practical aspects in life, and she knows she can contain her desires when need be and follow her desires when need be. And the last card from Spirit is the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords talks of being in a self-imposed prison. All the swords surrounding her, she's placed there herself. She's popped herself in a place of negative self-talk, negative self-doubt, a belief that she is being judged or judging others. It's not seeing the wood for the trees. We've let our mind, thoughts are our mind and communication, our swords, and we're letting our mind rule us rather than living from the whole being that we are of mind, body, spirit and soul. The mind is a mere organ like our heart, like our kidneys, like our liver, and it just has a function. It's just the computer dashboard of this vehicle, our body. Yet left to its own devices, it can run away with us. This card talks of self-fears, self-doubts, and any way of battering yourself down to stay small and stay in this place where the ego wants you to feel safe. So I believe the main message from Spirit there is, by being in our natural element and being exactly who we are, we can enjoy all the fruits of life, appreciate all the fruits of life and all the good things that come, as long as we come out of our egotistic mind and realise all the good that we have got, the good that we are, and dismiss all the negative, bad talk we do to ourselves. For the next line, messages for the physical, we have the High Priestess. Now the High Priestess, she's ruled by the moon, and the moon rules the water signs. So there could be another water sign around you at this time, which we did say with the King of Cups above you. Or physically, we have to start balancing the masculine energy, the masculine energy of our being and doing with the spiritual energy of the High Priestess. Water signs are the most psychic of the signs. Intuition plays a massive part, and sometimes we can ignore our intuition. Physically, in the month of April, we are going to have to listen to our intuition. Do not dismiss what intuition says to you. Your intuition will be spot on. We will have a good connection to intuition, and many a problem you may solve just by having that intuitive insight. The next card in the physical, we have the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands all talk about our passions and desires. This king is very fair, is very just, is very down to earth, is very kind, patient, considerate. I often think of the king as Aries, but it could be an air sign, a fire sign around you, Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, that will play a role in the events of April. And the card to follow that is the Fool. The Fool's the very first card in the Major Arcana, and this card talks about the young teenager being given the freedom to move out of home and go off on his own adventures, taking a leap of faith, blindly, to be honest. So it probably is a time to take a risk. We did have gambling and games of chance in your number roll. So maybe there is something you've got to take a chance on this month. It might be something you fear, but the cards are saying take a chance. Now, when I look at all three in the physical, trust your intuition. It may be regarding a fire sign. Your intuition may be dead on par regarding a fire sign. Or trust your intuition that the passion you feel for something, you should take a chance. Take a leap of faith and follow it. But actually start the ball rolling. Not just think about it anymore. Not just wish for it anymore. Start making physical steps to do it. The message from our heart, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune here, another Major Arcana. The Wheel of Fortune is actually the number 10, so it's a completion of a cycle. So you finish something as we've wrapped up the last year's energy cycles, and it is time now to start something else, which is exactly what the Fool's been shouting at us on the previous card. The Wheel of Fortune this way depicts that the choices that we're going to make now are going to take us on an upward spiral and see advancements and a prosperous time ahead. This card could also signify, being in the heartline, that we've come through some really heartbreaking situations, but it's now time for the wind of change to come and start making better situations for us in the future. The card next to it is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords speaks of a hollow victory. There's been a battle. It could be a battle of wills, a battle of intellect, a verbal battle. But nobody really won in the situation. It can talk about judgments and making judgments, making the wrong call. Fives always talk of some kind of a loss. So I don't think it is a loss, but there's no gains. So in the heart, we could have had conflict. It could have been with somebody else. Or there is to be conflict, but it could be an internal conflict over something. Maybe a fear of stepping out on a new path compared to just doing it and facing that fear and doing it. The third message for our heart is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords usually appears as a lawyer, a solicitor, a judge, a man of law, a man of integrity. Swords represent air elements, so we could be talking of an Aquarius, Libra or Gemini in the mist. Maybe there was some heartache in the past with an Aquarian, Libra or Gemini, or maybe there's one in the future that we might find a little bit of conflict with, or we've had conflict within ourselves over this person. It could also signify if we harden up a little bit and aren't so emotional and think logically about things, we can find an easier path. Message from our soul, the first one is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups talks about celebrations, engagements, weddings. There may be some formal celebration coming up in the month of April. It's talking about good times, enjoying good times together with friends, family. the coming together of a union that others celebrate. It could be a birthday, it could be a school reunion, something that's showing happiness and joy, and it will be good for the soul. The next card is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is all about, we're sat and we're weighing up the odds. Pentacles are financial, the materialistic things, materialistic goals that we work for. This is a card of weighing up the amount of effort we've already put in. We've got to 7. Weighing up if the effort that we've put in, are we going to reap the rewards that we expect from our efforts. And the final card is the Seven of Wands. So we have 2 sevens there together, which do put more emphasis on these 2 cards. Now, the Seven of Wands is about conflict, about competition. It's about having to defend yourself, feeling the need to defend yourself, feeling the need to stand up for yourself. So, on this line, I would say the soul wants you to celebrate make sure what we are defending, what we are defending is worth the effort we're putting in. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Fool. That's 4 major arcanas. Talk of change for the better. A talk of realistically being able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Taking a leap of faith in something that you desire. And trust in your intuition. With the High Priestess, there's also a lot of talk of secrets. And usually your intuition is the one that tells you that something's not right and there's something being hidden. It could be that there's something in a new business partnership and someone's not telling you the whole truth. And by not knowing everything you need to know on this situation means you will somehow have to take a blind leap of faith. Emotionally throughout April, I see us being very in control of our emotions, though not too cold and not too detached from who we are naturally. We have 2 cups there. We have 2 wand swords. One representing a person or being That's the word I'm looking for. Reaching a goal in our desires and having to defend our desires or that goal. Financially or on the materialistic level, we only have one card, which is the Seven of Pentacles, and that's weighing up if something is worth the effort that we're putting in or not. Apart from that, I think the major challenge for Cancer this month is our own thoughts. Our own thoughts are playing with our mind. The only card I want you to take true note of, and I'm not saying ignore these, because if these conflicts do come up, be it a conflict within ourselves or a conflict with others, this is negative self-talk, this one. This is a cage we've put ourselves in by talking down to ourselves, by believing our ego and listening to our fears. If we can eliminate them too and find our clarity in thought and clarity in communication, these could also be crossed words, not necessarily our own bad thoughts. Watch our thoughts, watch our words, how we relate to others, not showing ourselves too detached, but being logical and clear-minded about things will be a big advantage of getting through the energies that face you in the month of April. I'd like to pull 3 clarifiers on the sevens at the bottom, 7 of Pentacles and 7 of Wands, the message from the soul. Right. There's no fresh start. There's no beginning. This is the Fool upside down. There's no opportunity for a leap of faith if we rush ahead without logically thinking about things first. Just follow our passions and go for it. That will result in a delay in growth. So be very mindful about how much energy you put into certain things and any conflicts around you. I have said previously on other videos, we are in Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. He's the young buck that's been given his sword to go out and conquer the world, and he wants to. He'll chop anyone down in his route to do so. And there's a big message this month, especially with all how the planets align. It could be to our detriment. We've got to pull ourselves back, listen to our intuition, logically think things through before committing to things or commenting or engaging in battles and having to defend ourselves when we might not have to, just by logically taking a little bit more time to think things through before making a move. I believe, and King of Wands here, the Aries, is this it? Physically, our intuition knows if we run forward with our passions, follow this passionate adventure we want to go on, and take a leap of faith, that is the way to go. Just watch our thoughts and our communications with others on the way, and not to trample on anyone. As I've said in all these readings, Cancer, I will only throw out what immediately comes up for me. If there's anything, if it has sparked your intuition, which is the whole purpose of tarot readings, I believe, It's not for us to tell you. It's to spark your own intuition regarding your situation. If you do need to come back or want to come back and look into something in more detail, I'm quite happy to do that. The other thing I've noticed here is with the King of Cups, the King of Wands and the King of Swords, 3 kings together, that definitely talks of business discussions. So I do think there's some kind of business discussions this month, maybe setting out on a new business venture. You could be working with 2 other people to bring something to fruition. There may be conflict within that, as 3 people working together can be quite hard. It could be a passion that you want to pursue, but if so, you're collaborating with another 2 people on it, or getting advice from another 2 people. They could both be male or female, mature energies. Keep yourself grounded. Know you're well balanced in your own energy as we go into this month. And though we have a few conflicts and maybe someone trying to buff you the wrong way, you're going to clear through all of that and move to this better, more emotional, stable place as we leave April and head into May. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful April. See you soon. Bye.